bringing that into the ring as Halloween and X-Fly square off on the outside. Now X-Fly thrown into the shopping cart as now Damien and Halloween seem to be teaming up, pushing X-Fly with the shopping cart into the announce position.
Before you saw them beating on each other, now you see them working as a team. Despite being partners both in Perros Del Mal and as well as former XPW Tag Team Champions, these guys know that so much is on the line to win this match here at Viva La Lucha Revolution.
Charlie Manson just thrown through the board covered in barbed wire by Supreme, and Halloween off the top rope, crashing onto X-Fly on the floor. Breaking through the table, we have action all over the arena, and it is as sickening as you can imagine, folks.
Multiple instances of violent crap all over the ring here, Chico. It's tough to keep up with the action as you see the bodies flying, skin cut, blood flowing. Chico.
Lacerations and abrasions all around as Supreme goes for the lateral press on Charlie Manson inside the ring, and Tirantes didn't want to count it. He saw those thumbtacks on the all over the mat. He didn't want to count the 3 count, so he just instead let Supreme get brained by that tire by Damien. And now Damien coming off the ropes, drop kicks the tire. You can see it just flipping off the head of Supreme. He caught the impact from the drop kick, and he caught the impact on the back of his head when the tire just caught him on the way up and over. Tirantes consulting with Damien, seeing if Damien is still fit to continue in this match. Damien has endured just an incredible amount of punishment, as has all the 4 other competitors in this match. Charlie Manson after going through that barbed wire board, X-Fly after just being driven into that table by Halloween off the top rope. I mean, it is a wonder that any of these men are on their feet still.
You have to wonder if they're reconsidering their interest in deathmatch style, as you could see the pain upon their face. You see the destruction in and outside the ring. You see how slow they're moving, how exhausted they are. This one's taken everything out of all of these guys.
Headbutt by Damien, catches Supreme on the temple. But if there's one thing that you know, the world knows about Supreme, he's got a head like a cinder block. I mean, it is like a bowling ball wrapped in steel, wrapped in titanium.
It's not just the head, Excalibur. Supreme likes to punch. He's got a fist that's like a hand of stone, and when it connects against your cheek, your temple, your forehead, your nose, whatever, it could possibly even crush those bones.
And now Damien and Halloween. Oh, Damien blocked the chair shot from Halloween. Instead, caught him with a boot to the chair. The chair bounced back into Halloween's face. Now Damien picking up X-Fly.
You know, the great Santo, the Enmascarado de Plata, is rolling in his grave right now because of the amount of violent crap that is brought to his sacred sport.
Oh, huge powerbomb off the ropes by Supreme. 1, 2, 3, and that is it. X-Fly has been eliminated by Supreme in conjunction with Damien with that middle rope powerbomb. And Larry Rivera, you're exactly right. The influence of violent crap, as you call it, is just permeated Mexican wrestling. And I mean, so it's, you know, I mean, for a sport that was so insular, so that was all about the high performance lucha libre, is now just, I mean, really on the world stage is influenced by every bit of
degenerated into this, chick.
Santos rolling in his grave. You gotta think that guys like Terry Funk and Mick Foley are absolutely thrilled by the impact they've had on this sport by being able to spread their love of hardcore wrestling to the world itself right here in this death match on Viva La Lucha Revolution.
And look at this, Supreme and Damien, who just moments ago were teaming up to take X-Fly out of this matchup, are now fighting on the top rope. Supreme, what has he got in store for Damien? I mean, this is no man's land. This is a bad place to be. Damien, he's calling for help from Halloween or perhaps just somebody in the crowd. He does not want to be up here in the high rent district with Supreme.
Excalibur, I don't know if he's going to get that help from Halloween, because I believe Halloween may have been counted out, and it may just be Supreme and Damien as the final 2 competitors.
That's what it looks like. X-Fly taken out of the match by Supreme and Halloween, or excuse me, Supreme and Damien. So now it's just, it's down to these 2 men, and they are up on the top. Oh no, here comes Halloween. Halloween not out of the picture, trying to help out Damien. No, Damien backed him off, and Supreme and Damien are still up on the top rope, trying to fight, trying to avoid getting superplexed as Damien And you can see those shots to the ribs of Supreme. No! Superplex through the barbed wire boards.
It's a split-second decision. Split-second decision when to go, when not to go, Chico. The difference is a broken back.
Look at the way that Damien 6'6" is just completely attached to that barbed wire. You see his body start to roll and bounce, but he's brought back to the mat as that barb. The barb's right there, hooked into his skin, tearing him apart.
In retrospect, it might not have been the best decision for Damien to have to have backed off Halloween. He could have used that aid from Halloween, but right now it is down to Damien and Supreme in this matchup. The first man to score a pinfall or submission victory, or I guess the first man to force the other man to give up, will be your winner here in this matchup, as now Supreme having his face rubbed into that barbed wire wrapped around the ring ropes.
Let me remind everybody that the XPW King of the Deathmatch title is not on the line, but a win right here for Damien 666 would obviously put him in contention for a shot.
Well, I hope you guys brought the sleeping bags, because we know the toughness of Supreme. We could be here all night long, Chick.
Supreme is as tough as they come. Damien is incredibly tough as well. And, you know, this match could go either way. There's not a clear victor or a clear favorite in this match, as Damien just suplexes Supreme into the board covered in barbed wire.
Supreme, being the deathmatch champ, is proof enough that he's tough. But Damien 666 and his partner were actually complete hardcore icons for the past 10 years all around Mexico.
And Halloween tossing something to Damien, and I'm not sure what it was, but it's something that I can only imagine. There are bad intentions in store for Supreme, the human horror film. Damien going to the outside. He grabs a light tube, just breaking it over the face of Supreme. Supreme, I mean, you know, we talked about how tough he is, how much he can endure, but even he has his limits. I mean, there comes a point when your body can only endure so much, and now Supreme seems to be reaching very nearly to his breaking point.
You see the photographers at ringside wanting to get a picture, wanting to get a glimpse of the action, mayhem, and completely mauled faces of both Supreme and Damien 666.
Now Damien up on the top rope, and Supreme coming back up, and we saw them both just take the brunt of that superplex, even though Damien was on the receiving end of it. I mean, they still both landed in the barbed wire, into the remnants of the thumbtacks, and the broken glass. And so, I mean, this is not the position that either of these men want to be, but I would say whoever comes away with the advantage here. Oh, look at this!
Hey!
Perros Jr. with the chair just sledgehammer Supreme, and Supreme landing in the thumbtacks and in the barbed wire. Damien off the middle rope, drops the elbow across the throat of Supreme. Tirantes counting the cover. 1, 2, 3. Supreme defeated by Damien with the assist of Perros Jr. Perros del Mal coming up in a big fashion to defeat